That's the record button.
Did you hit the record button?
I hit the record button.
Live?
It's live now.
Man, we're recording.
It is legit.
Is this episode 38?
38, 39.
38, 39. We don't know.
It's a live one.
Well, we're live. Yeah, we're doing this live and we don't know what's going on.
Right.
So
In front of a live studio audience.
Yeah, we're with an audience here. Mm-hmm. So welcome to the new the We Rock podcast on site at in San Antonio at the Grand Hyatt downtown.
By the Riverwalk.
Yeah, we are the highest rated monument industry podcast.
The number one.
Number one. No one better.
Yep.
But it's not just you, and not just me.
We do have guests.
We have guests. So we got our famed
The
Jonathan
man.
Benson.
JB.
Yes, sir. I'm here.
The man. And then over here, we got old Nick.
Nick Ortiz.
From Amarillo.
From Amarillo.
Amarillo by morning.
So, what do we think, man?
Oh, there's seven songs in that song.
Huh?
Amarillo by morning.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, we're San Antonio.
San Antonio.
That's what he's doing in 2 days.
That's gonna 2 days.
So, yeah, no, it's a good show, though, so far.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Wonderful.
Definitely,
So-
man. A lot of, like, just to see the increase in, like, the vendors
I
here.
mean, we're big numbers on this. I mean, I'm highly impressed. I mean, there's
Numbers are up.
I think
vendors and
there's
retailers.
some kinks. There's some kinks we got to work out.
We're not king shaming though.
No. But they're little. I think I'm not. I think for the vendors, the room situation. Of course, I got Matthew's guy sitting here, and I mean, room situation is not necessarily ideal, but it's working. I think. I mean, it's not bad.
It's working. You got to squeeze your stomach in to get in between the tables, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Hey, you didn't have to point that joke at me.
Yeah.
To the biggest guy at the table.
He was gonna buy something from Matthews, but you know.
No, but it's a little snug, but I think it's working really well for what it is, and we've got. Come on, Stacey Drake, come on in here.
When you get through interviewing me, I'm not coming here.
All right. So we've got 46 vendors. And actually, I'd take that back. There's a couple didn't show up because stuff came up or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, unfortunately, Quinn Floyd didn't show up. I hate that for him. You know, he's a great guy. He had stuff going on that was personal that had to get stuff taken care of. So wish them the best over at AQ Stone. And then a couple others, I don't remember them all off the top of my head. But other than that, I mean, great turnout on vendors. Great turnout on shops. I mean, you got 38 retail companies or monument companies. That's not individual people, which is it's funny because I think a lot of places will count their membership or the attendees as individual members, right? So if a shop brings in my shop, I've got 6 attendees. Of the 6. My kids are 2, and my wife, who doesn't work in the shop, is 1.
Yes.
So there's
Same
3
boat.
of us.
Same boat.
But there's still, when it comes to somebody like Matthews or Keystone or any one of them, it's still one account. So
Correct.
So they're really looking at those numbers, and those numbers are really good. So we're at I think 38 or something like that, which is crazy because
That's a big improvement.
we've been kind of hitting 25, 26 for a number of years.
Yep.
So big turnout, man.
And what I'm impressed with this year is the amount of first timers that we have.
first-timers.
A lot of first timers.
A lot of first time. Here's one of the crazy things about this is we and you and I pushed this for a while. I've been wanting to really do this for a number of years. I think this is the one year that we really pulled the wool off and the training wheels and said let's go. And it was for if you had never been
Yes.
to a Southern Monument Builders Convention as a retailer before, then you would be given a guest pass at no charge. So basically, you come to the convention, you can come visit with the vendors. It was you can't participate in the design contest. You can't
Right.
come to dinner at the banquet or anything that costs us money like that or whatever. But it gives you the ability to come in and see the vendors. We also offered it to the vendors to kind of extend to their customers who had never been, give them a chance to look like a hero and maybe get their customers out. To see
It's kind of a try before you buy thing.
Yeah. And so it kind of the running joke was within the board was that we're going to be like the meth dealers, right? And so the first
hits,
one's on
yep.
us. So it's and then it's our job as the board and other members to kind of get everybody excited about
To
it,
give them
right?
more meth.
Yeah. We've got 5 companies that showed up on the guest pass. So
That's good.
It's pretty good.
That's good.
And I think that one of them's my do I call them competitor? I mean, they really are my competitor, but they're not. One of them's those guys down the road from me, and they seem to be having a good time and
they are.
good.
And only one ER trip.
Huh?
Only one ER trip.
Only one ER trip.
Yeah. That poor George. Yeah. From Avalon.
He's one of our guests.
Yeah, he's one of our guests.
This is
That's
what
right.
happens.
Yep.
He came in on the guest pass, and it actually ended up costing him a lot more than he thought. So he should have just paid for this.
So he's not coming back.
No. I saw him just a little while ago.
Yeah,
he's
back.
good.
He's here.
Yeah.
He's here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
A slight little medical condition, but everything's fine now.
Good.
I think he was told he couldn't hang out with me anymore, though.
No.
I think,
Yeah. Awesome, man. Awesome. Yeah.
so, but, Nick, how's it going for you? I mean, this is like your
Year
fourth?
4. Year 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, because your first one was Rockwall, right?
Correct.
Yep.
See, that's not fair because Austin always remembers the Rockwall ones. It's his entry and almost his favorites.
Yeah,
Your first one was at Rockwall.
No, my first one was at Rockwall, and then I guess you could call the favorite is whenever we did the joint convention with Mamba and
That's sarcastically speaking.
a little bit.
Yeah.
We're not going to dive too far into that. And then your first one was Shreveport. That's right.
7 years ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Been a game changer for me.
7 years for you?
You was just a kid then.
Yeah, me like, who's this guy Tony that's really friendly? I guess he.
Man, I was trying to get you to be a member. See, he was the meth dealer.
Yes. 7 years later, we still rocking. Yeah, Austin, you were there in Shreveport too,
Yep.
right?
Oh,
This
yeah.
is-
Yeah. So your first one, Nick, was where again?
Rockwall.
Rockwall. Okay.
And
I met you at the first one. Your first
And
one.
it's always funny watching the new guys come in, and I was, I say it's funny. I was that guy at one point in time because you walk in and you see all these people that it looks like just like a big family reunion going on, and that's exactly what it is. But you're the cousin nobody's ever heard about.
Yep.
Right.
And so you're just kind of standing there on the outside, and then it takes members. It was like Tony; he was the one that brought me in and started introducing me to people. And
Yep.
so now, whenever I see these new people come in, I want to reciprocate the same kindness that I was shown.
Right.
Because, like Tony said before, yeah, I look forward to going to these monument conventions, whether it be MBNA, SMBA, MonuCon. They're fun, but this one right here, the Southern Monument Builders Convention, is my absolute favorite because this one is a family reunion for me.
This is, yeah, it
I'm
really is.
I'm coming in. I'm bringing my family. I bring my kids.
Oh, Pruitt.
Oh, that's the long. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man, we have to fix that.
There you
Pruitt is why we can't have nice things.
That's not going to
Them-
get
them
edited
Georgia
out.
people.
No, I might have to
You're gonna
crank
have
the level down a little bit because
I didn't look at the levels on this when it went on, but I'm sure it went live. No, so yeah, SMBA's always been family. That's why like for me, my first SMBA convention was in the DFW area. I can't think of the name of it, but it was up on the Fort Worth side, and that was in 2003.
oh wow.
My first one as a retailer, because I was at Swan at the time. My first one as a retailer was in 2007, and that was actually here in San Antonio. So it was we were at the Mingle.
So how many years you been in business now, Tony?
Next year for me in business is 20 years.
Wow.
I filed the DBA 20 years ago next October, or in 2026.
Flew
Wow.
by, huh?
So
You
Flew
were
by, right? 20 years has flew by.
yeah
you
yeah.
were a kid when you started
Oh,
yours.
I was 24.
Wow.
Yeah. The crazy thing about it was that it's very difficult to get people to trust a 24-year-old to sell them a monument.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
it's a different animal.
Voice is still cracking,
Yeah. I couldn't really grow anything on my face. It was just not that I can do much better now. I just refuse to shave. So,
Wow.
but
wow.
no, I mean, this has always been family, and so it's been a long time. I don't think I've missed one since. So for the last 22 years, I've been to every one of them, I've been
And now you're the longest tenured board member we have.
the longest tenured retail, because Sandra Connors has been on longer now.
Correct.
Yeah, well, that kind of gets us to why we're here. Like, I guess for this podcast, Tony's, I guess, the veteran here in the podcast, right?
Like, you can be a veteran without knowing a lot of stuff and just still being a moron. Veteran only states that you've been doing something a long time. It does not state that you've been doing it correctly a long time.
That's true. That's true. Well, Austin, how long you been in?
This coming year will be 10 years for me.
10.
Yes, sir.
Wow, talking about somebody that dove.
Oh yeah, no. If you were to ask me a long time ago, what are you going to do with your life? A monument company was definitely not in the cards.
That wasn't top on the list?
No. I would have considered being a florist before I considered being, a memorialist or, owner of a monument shop.
You're like, did it at least beat like selling Pokemon cards or something like that, or?
I would have drove that into the ground. I don't understand that stuff.
But no, it
doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's been a long time for a lot of us. Of course, Jonathan, your shop's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
How long has J&L been around?
J&L's been around a little bit over about 41 years now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But that's kind of, but like Tony says, a lot of times it's not about, I love my parents. They did a great thing by starting the business, kind of how we got started in the business, like probably my 5th time telling the story these last 2 days, but how we got started in the business, it was a monument company in Houston, Rose Monuments. The owners of that company, they were from Detroit, and they worked for Sears. So back in the day, Sears sold headstones, and then somebody became sick that worked at the Sears store in Detroit, and Mr. Ed Kalinowski with Rose Monuments said, "Hey, I'll fill in for the lady that's selling headstones." And then I guess eventually Sears stopped selling the headstones, and Mr. Ed picked a spot on the map, said, I'm gonna move to Texas from Detroit and start doing headstones. And they picked a shop to be in Rusk, Texas, out in East Texas, is that right? And they had a shop in Rusk, Texas, and then they had a location in Houston.
I mean, back then, the only 2 things out of Rusk, Texas would have been that monument shop and then where you took people for a psychiatric eval.
It is a big psychiatric.
That might have been one and the same. I mean, if you're going to start a monument shop somewhere, I mean, in general, you may need the psychiatric.
Yeah. If you've owned one for a while, you definitely need it.
Yes. So, and the kind of how we got started. So Rose Monuments was growing, and then one of our relatives bought a headstone from them out in my hometown, Needville, and my dad used to do dirt work and do septic systems. And so they were like, and so with that, he had a backhoe, and so he would dig graves at the local cemetery. Well, they was like, well, call our cousin. He can tell you where this stone goes. And so my dad met him out there, and I'm paraphrasing the story. I'm pretty sure my dad was like, "Hey man, get in this business." And next, I mean, I'm not part of that process, but all I knew when I was about couldn't remember 3 or 4 years old. All my life, I knew that headstones were on the side of my house when I was growing up. So all my friends were like, "Does he got a cemetery? Is it people buried in his house?"
His family just loves Halloween.
Right. We didn't have to decorate for Halloween. We had the headstones on the side of the house, had a little office there. And so my dad, for Rose Monuments, they did not want to, they didn't want their guys to do any, they didn't want their guys pretty much to pack a shovel. They just wanted their guys to set headstones. So my dad did anything with dirt. He set all their flat markers, and he did all of their foundations, mainly at your SCI cemeteries. And just one thing led to another, and we're still rolling 40-something years later. But that kind of goes.
But the good thing about that too is like he got through what is statistically the hard part, right? So,
Oh yeah, breaking in.
right. So, business statistics, and I don't know the actual number, but it's something to the effect of like, so I'll paraphrase and make life easy. Within the first 5 years, 90% of all businesses that are started up will shut down.
It's not easy.
And then
92%, I think.
and then it's the next 5 years. So within 10 years, of that remaining 10% or 8% or whatever it is, another 90% will shut down.
Yep.
And so you lose quite a bit because simple mistakes, and I think of honest mistakes or just didn't know or whatever, lose interest, whatever the case is. So to get through that rough period of time is the hard part, right? So the name's established. However, I do always say this, is that I've kind of made this statement for a long time, whereas the longest running business that ever was, and there may be others, but the longest one that's known was the Dutch East India Trading Company. Ran for like 700 years or something like that, right? Doesn't exist any longer, right? So somebody created it. It ran for a very long time, and then somebody was given the keys to the city on it.
Yes, sir.
And ran it in the ground. So the key to it is every business will close down at some point in time. You do not want to be the one holding the keys
When it closes.
when it closes. So you just have to do your job well enough to make sure the doors stay open.
Does that happen in the monument world? Somebody that'd be like deep generation,
You know, like,
giving the keys.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, there might have been situations where somebody maybe like 5th, 7th generation or something like that.
Yeah.
Kind of start running the city, you know, kind of taking over the business or whatever.
Leaves the city.
Yeah, leaves the city. You know, I don't know, and just kind of overall fancy kind of thing, and makes it a big show, and it just because the show becomes about them, it's not about the families, and it runs it in the ground.
It has to be about the families.
It has to be about the families.
Yeah. Never lose sight of that. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
No, that's the thing. And y'all have heard me say it before. I could care less what other people think about me. I care what we do for the families. That's what is the number one important thing that we do.
Oh yeah. So, of course, your parents they started the business, they built the business up. It wasn't in the cards for you, though.
No. I had no desire to do it. Wanted to go on my own career path, and I did oil and gas, and out of nowhere, my parents were, time was, they were getting older, and
you decided, what the hell, I'll take a pay cut.
Literally, I took a huge, took a huge pay cut, and but yeah, man. But like Tony said, business is closed, so you have to evolve.
Yeah.
And so we were running the way my parents ran, and we were starving. I'm not gonna lie. And what's funny is, I think I sent y'all pictures. I sent y'all pictures the other day.
I'm not trying to knock your folks on this, but whenever you sent those pictures showing what they were charging for headstones, like, man,
Oh yeah.
that's
No,
a poor way to serve the Lord.
yes, no, yeah. I was taken back. I was looking, and I'm like, everybody. Well, that was 15 years ago. I'm like, I don't care. My dad was delivering 8-inch dies for $35. Yes.
How long ago?
Man, so we took over the business. No, we took over the business now. It's 11 years. So this was the paperwork that they gave us.
Oh, I see.
So 11 years ago, my dad was running trucks for $35 an installation. So to try to adapt, and then so we ran that way for a couple of years. And man, I'm like, man, I'm always busy, but I'm always broke. and so I was like, and man, just looking at that, I had to send it to y'all. I was like, I mean, just the prices too. But so my parents, you got to think for them, they, God bless my dad, sold he passed last year, but lived a simple life, small town, bought him an old cash truck, house was paid for, 25 years ago. Lived a very simple life. I spend more in fuel than in fuel a day than their house note was. And I grew up in a nice home. So, but like you were saying, evolving, and I'll never forget. Tony is sometimes I'm scared to send Tony stuff because he's gonna tell you how he feels. And I remember one time I sent him something. I tried to get one of those customers that was on a budget, and I don't even know if I'm ashamed to even. I sent it to Tony. I was like, man, what you think it is? He goes, dude, honestly, I want to throw up. You remember that?
Yeah.
And I was like, kind of got a point. So with that being said, man, it's that, and like my dad, so when COVID came, we were either going to go out of business or we were going to have to, and excuse my language, we were going to even have to shit or get off the pot.
Yep.
We had to go in because you're at the mercy, and you guys know of, we were depending on suppliers to do everything for us, and our doors were going to shut. That simple. And we had to dive in, and man, just having this, being a part of this.
What brought you to SMBA?
Bobby Slisberg.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I studied sandblast, and so the thing with me was I was concerned. Y'all know I used to talk to y'all when I first met y'all. Man, I'm scared to sandblast. Man, I don't want, because our suppliers did great work, and so I was scared of dropping our quality because we've always had the quantity in business. Yep. But I was like, man, I was scared for our quality to drop and still keep rolling. And I was like, man, I was like, man, I didn't want the quality to drop. So we, but eventually we had to dive in.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, I think one of the things that was hard, like early on, that was hard for me to swallow is like I wanted to be top quality, but now as I look back on things, I like, early on I was not top quality. It just wasn't doing it, and so you kind of have to go. You get to this place where you're like, no, I want to be the best of the best of the best, but you got to have the wherewithal to have the retrospect of looking back and going, oh, that one's trash. Oh, that one's trash. Oh, that one's trash. Because the customer you serve today, at some point in time, you will look back on it and go, I should have done better. I could have done better. I didn't do as good. And it's kind of this catch-22 because you want to do the best thing for every customer you serve, but unfortunately, because it's a learning process, the next one gets more attention and gets the benefit of the knowledge that you learned ahead before.
Yeah, and that's funny, because like my dad, he didn't know. I mean, he knew how to set a headstone, but he didn't know what the quality of a good headstone was, and that's no knock on him. He just didn't have the knowledge.
Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with ignorance, right? It's just a lack of knowledge on something.
Didn't know.
That's fine.
And I was there. I just thought, oh man, that looks like a good stone when it's first put in the cemetery.
But see, you've taken what you learned from him, and then you've built on it and started to run with it, and you're to a point now. You're at a precipice. You're standing on a cliff edge right now. You're getting ready to take a leap. Like you, of course, Tony and I, we talk quite a bit. I talk with you quite a bit. Talk with you. I mean, we all talk to one another, and we have nothing but the absolute faith in you that if you take that leap as far
really
as scaling up.
But
You're right. You're right.
Like they say, we are one.
Yeah, no, definitely. Quita is the reason that we are. Sam, she's quality control.
But it's a team.
It's a team. It's definitely a team.
I'm nothing without my team. It's,
Same here.
It's not that big. It's not that I'm able to do everything, but I can't produce the volume we do without the rest of my team, and I can't catch every detail.
No,
not at the volume we are.
No, man, you got Nick over here sitting.
It takes the arm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we got Nick over here sitting quiet. Nick, you have a good story, man.
I'm still learning.
Yeah, but
Nick's got and I don't know.
I love Nick's story.
Nick's story, but I don't know if you're ever ready to share it, if it's ever a good time to share it. But like your story probably is the most impactful to me because you took something that was tough and turned it into something that was as tough as it'll never get better, but it's something that's better for everybody else because of what you went through.
Every day it gets better.
And
the situation gets better, and Yep, I love it.
Well, and unfortunately, what brought you into the monument business, aside from the tragic event that y'all went through, it was a bad experience with the monument company,
It was a very bad experience, correct.
and to take that and turn it into a mission and build it into what you've built it into, it says a lot about you and your character.
Yes.
For somebody to come back from that and thrive, that says an insane amount about you.
Yeah, and the name says it. Mm-hmm. The name says it.
Legacy, yeah. I wouldn't do anything different in my life now at this point. I couldn't even, it's unimaginable.
Yeah.
I mean, I wake up thinking about this. I go to sleep thinking about it. I'm always on the phone with these guys talking about it. Hey, what do you think on this deal? And it's like just progressively, not only myself, my team getting better, but we all learn from each other. And that's what's the great thing about the Southern Monument Builders that I'm so drawn to.
Yeah, that may be the only socialist thing I'm okay with. The collective of information.
No,
It's wonderful.
Yeah, it's good, man.
Yeah.
It's all good stuff. You don't.
Oh yeah. No.
Yeah.
My designs are your designs, and back and forth, and all that.
No, it's a brotherhood.
No, it is.
Sisterhood,
It is.
whatever. All
and,
that.
And of course, we've all seen the controversy online surrounding, the copywritten. Can you truly copyright this or that, or who did it before you or whatnot?
I think you probably, at least there's one individual who thinks you can copyright everything.
Well, absolutely. There is one individual from the East something. I don't know.
Somewhere like that. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
But it's I'm going to take my ball and run or whatever, and teach their own. I guess if that's what you want to do, but it doesn't necessarily mean anybody likes you.
Right.
And not that you're trying to make friends, but the truth of the matter is you're not really your intention isn't to service the family. It's to service yourself.
Absolutely. And of course, we've all had the talks with one another that if you ever see something that I've done, and of course the conversation's reciprocal for Tony and I, that if you ever see something I've done, I'll be more than willing to send you that design, but change it, make it your own. Show me how you can make it better than what I did with it. And because I'm by no means ever sitting around saying that I'm the best there's ever been, even though there was a point in time that I was that arrogant. It was whenever I first got started, and I had Gerber. And I learned how to draw some stuff, and I had the clip art, and I was like, shoot, nobody got nothing on me. I'm the best. I am the best. I'm the man, by the way. And then I was like, okay, well, my company has a Facebook page. I can look up other monument companies' Facebook pages, and one of the first ones I came across was Tony's. And then I started scrolling through his stuff, and I was like, golly, man, this dude's got it together. And I messaged on Facebook. Then it turned into phone conversations. And at first, I thought I was reaching out to like a 60, 70-year-old man that, is just seasoned.
That's what he looks like.
But a veteran of this industry. And, of course, now he's clearly a veteran of the industry. But
he changed the game.
He did.
Well, again, veteran again does not necessarily mean.
but like you said, you look back to some of your past works, especially if I go back and look at some of the paper files and some of the first things I did, and now I look at it and know exactly what I would really do. I feel like I did those families a disservice, because at the time, was I giving them the best I could? Absolutely, I was. But is it anywhere compared to what I can do now? No.
Not even.
Yeah, and then that's the thing too. Where funny that you say that. Like, with us selling stones, so we've serviced families, because no matter what, our customer service is always going to be top notch. But trying to evolve, and we're always striving to get better. And we've had a customer like that stone just looks better than the one that y'all did 20 years ago, and you just got to be like, well, we've gotten better.
Yeah.
You got to own it. You got to own it.
That's it.
Straight. I mean, that's all you really can say.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just,
No, Michael Jordan didn't wake up one day and just become the best basketball player that there's ever been.
Well, even
Well, they say LeBron's the best.
No, wrong.
But even if you,
Wrong.
no. But even if you want to use the basketball analogy, right? Kobe was known for being in the gym all day long, right? And just shooting. And even if he was getting ready to quit, there was a story that one guy came in and he's like, I'm gonna work out with Kobe or whatever. And Kobe was already in there shooting, and that guy was in there for hours with him shooting, and trying to outlast him. And Kobe just kept going, right? and it was because Kobe was not going to be seen as being outdone.
Nope.
And so that was kind of the key, was it was always strive to be better than what you are or the next person. And I kind of always set the standard for me that I want to pick who I believe is the best, and that's what I want to chase, right? And so for me,
He's got a lot of mirrors in his house.
yeah. For me, I look at things like the people I look to. Of course, my friend who's passed, which is Scott Lucan. I still can't measure up to what he did on his own. There's Terry Joy out of Lexington, Kentucky. You've got Bran Oswald out of Florence, South Carolina. You've got Monica Johns out of Cleveland, Ohio. And there's just so many more. I can continue to go on, and I've got this list of people that are phenomenal designers that do. Drew Bott out of where is he out of? One of the not Minnesota, Montana or something.
Yeah,
Wyoming,
Montana.
whatever.
Yeah.
One of those states that has
They got
15.
mountains.
Yeah, they got 15 people in his state. So, but no, it's those guys that are out there doing stuff that are incredible designers, and they do incredible work. And that's what I chase. And it's setting a bar for yourself to go after and say, this is what we want to be. We want to be better. We want to do this. What are they doing that's making their stuff better than mine? How do I emulate those things so that I can serve my customer better?
Well, and I think a good, just quick way to get into the mindset of making yourself better, especially the product that you're turning out to your customer through design and work, is just entering our design contest that we have here. Because a lot of people are very reluctant to do it because, of course, everybody, I mean, people are afraid to speak in front of other people in the same way that people are afraid to show their work in front of other people because they're afraid of the scrutiny. But if anything, put it in there, see how it measures up against other people, and allow it to be critiqued. And it wasn't until I started doing that I started drawing better. And just a perfect example is last year. Like, it wasn't the SMB award ceremony. It was the Jonathan Benson or J&L Monument Award ceremony is what it turned into. Because that guy just cleaned frickin' house last year. And
I won't this year.
Oh, no.
Nah, man, but that's just putting yourself, like, I always had this saying, if I'm the smartest person in the room, I need to lead the room. You see what I'm saying? And like, you got Demetrius here. Because my thing is that you're going to get out of it what you put into it.
Yep.
So what I remember, whenever I wanted to start taking sandblasting serious, I reached out to one of my competitor, and I had somebody ask him, "Hey, can I come to your place and learn how to sandblast, and or come to your shop?" And he said, "Not no, but hell no." And I just, man, he's an asshole, like, well, but then you got to protect yourself, so it gets to the point of how bad do you want it. So I think of Demetrius, like, he's still showing up. So, like, you're gaining, like, because some people, man, I come, but because what's starting to annoy me is people that say they want to learn the industry, but they don't want to pay to learn. Right. They want, like, hey, man, I'll just come. No, we have conventions, like, I paid for, we invested.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
We invested in this. So quit trying to get the education for free.
100%.
Because now you got the world of the web and stuff like that. So we got Miami company that don't invest in relationships. And I'm not knocking them, but I'm just saying that I just feel people that are here at this other Miami Builders Association, we're here because we truly care.
Well, not only that, but you're exactly right, because it's not, that free education kind of gets, I get the information I want, but you're not really showing that you are really invested, right? Meaning, if you're going to show up to the convention, you're going to continue to show up to the convention, then you show that you want it bad enough that it's worth that individual's time to invest in you, right?
Your customers deserve for you.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And I had said the same thing on the wholesale side a long time ago. We had a supplier, and I'll keep his name out of it, but he was coming. He came once or twice, I think. I know he come once and said, and this didn't do anything for me. I said, You can't come once. You can't come twice as a supplier to any of the conventions. You will see a turnaround when you show up the third time. He says, what do you mean? I said, the problem is if you show up once, it doesn't mean that you are really wanting to be there, right? You show up twice, you're still kind of new. That third time shows that you are investing in us and want to be a part of this and want help. And it changed immediately after his third time showing up. His sales went up in this area, and it was a big difference.
Well, so then
because they know that he's established long enough that he's going to stick around. It's not some kind of like, I'm doing this, I'm going to sell it off, I'm going off into somewhere else. No, he cared. He cared to stick around and be a part of it.
Well, that's just like you. I mean, so like vendors, like we thank you, Dalen, for being here with Matthews, because the simple thing of it is, it's just like you were saying, the start of a business, right? So these guys, the vendors coming here is the start of a business. So your first year, you might not, you might get.
It's going to be tough. But I mean, you start thinking about it from the practical side, right? So you go, if you are a startup company and pick any vendor that's out there, whatever, they're going to come here with a product. And in this industry, warranty's lifetime, right? Just about anything that comes out, for the most part, warranty's lifetime.
Except for black granite.
We got to put that disclaimer out.
We got to put that disclaimer out there.
A lot of suppliers will warranty.
Some suppliers will warranty. I only put a 2-year warranty on it at my shop, but that's just because I don't want to have to fool with relettering, redoing it all. But you still like the general for the most part, right?
Yes.
Whether it's everything else, it's porcelain pictures, it's bronze work, it's all this stuff, right? It's generally warranted for lifetime. But if you are in business and you start up a business, you've got a lifetime warranty, but you only last 2 years. That wasn't a lifetime warranty, was it? That was a 2-year warranty that's super limited.
Well, and that's the reason why we don't allow people to prepay for dates of death.
That's it.
That's been a topic.
Oh, always. No, Mom paid for it. She paid it. Everything.
But I've heard 2 times.
You call me a liar?
No. Well, no. So I've heard.
My mom was an honorable woman.
Well, your mom better have the contract in somewhere. But no, we've heard.
I believe her. I bet she has it somewhere.
Oh, 100%.
But we've heard 2 times this weekend where, because Quita, we've had it happen to us. My mom and dad did not sell death dates. And the customer that showed up with a contract. That one off, my mom felt sorry for the lady. And 1990 something. And, we got the contract. I'm like, but everything else, like we were taught not to sell death dates. Because right now, death dates might be $350. 5 years from now, they might be $700. So that's why we don't do it for that reason. But we had, I think Choate said the same thing. Customer bought in the contract, that one-off customer, that. Yeah. So anyway.
Well, and that's one of the hardest parts is, especially whenever it comes time to your customer signing that dotted line. It doesn't matter how much you go over it with them. It doesn't matter how much bold print you have on there. Unfortunately, a lot of times they're going to hear what they're going to hear, and I don't know if it's just a human condition or if they're in a mindset because they're dealing with loss at the moment that not everything is computing the way it should. But still, just the other day, we had this one lady. She bought a headstone from us in 2017, paid half on it, and then ghosted us. Phone calls, emails, nothing. Could never get back in touch with her. Out of the blue, about 3 months ago, she calls the shop. Where's my headstone? Well, ma'am, we're ready to go with it, but you need to pay the other half of your balance. No, I paid it all in full. I brought you a cashier's check. So we pulled the contract. Well, we have a credit card receipt stapled to her contract. No, you paid half with a credit card. No, I tell you what, I came in, I paid the other half. And y'all probably just applied it to somebody else's accounts, what you did. So I'm sure it happens all the time. No, ma'am, if we would have done that, it would have thrown somebody else's balance off. And now she's ghosted us again. And we're just sitting around waiting.
Well, we've gotten to that too. I've got several stunts, which I don't know. Am I the only odd individual who, if I spent $12,000 on something and knew that was half, that like I would like go pay the other half to get it instead of just ghost and not touch it for 5 years? oh, that 12 grand's gone now.
No, that happens.
When's the last time you went and bought a car and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna pay for half of it, but I can't pick it up till it's paid for, right? So I'll come back in 10 years, pick up said car. You're like, what is stupid?
Yeah, and that's, to piggyback kind of off that, I spent a lot of time with Bobby Slitzberger, man. He's pretty much my father in this business. And
Same.
One thing that I'll repeat to customers and stuff that he told me is a couple things that he told me. People will buy more cars in the house in the lifetime than they'll buy a headstone.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to be, we got to make it plain for them.
Mm-hmm.
We have to, the paper, like the devil's in the details. We have to have everything, like the contract needs to be a lot more, instead of, 5 lines.
It's got to be very broad. You got to cover every angle.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Every angle.
And I've had customers sit there and read out the full verbiage of my contracts before, and unfortunately, the verbiage, like once you read it, it sounds threatening.
Mm-hmm.
But it's put there in place to protect yourself in those most extreme of circumstances.
I tell them all the time, like, man, that was put there because somebody made me have to put it there.
Yeah.
No,
it's not because I plan on having to use it on you.
That's the reason why on hair dryers that say do not use in the bathtub, because somebody did it.
I had I used to have a 86 Nissan hardbody pickup, right? Had a manual moonroof sunroof on it.
Ooh.
Okay, so you had to push this latch and open it up this way
That's
to
the
take
old
it
school
off.
pop-up.
Right?
Yeah.
It said on there was a sticker: "Do not remove while vehicle is in motion."
Somebody did it.
Somebody thought it was a brilliant idea to try to get out of the, open that thing up and take it off.
They did it in Fast and Furious. Just saying.
That truck was not fast and it was not furious.
It's the only movie that depicts
trying to
fast
picture
cars
it
that the quarter mile race lasted 33 seconds.
Yeah, but nah, man. But nah, y'all. It's been a good convention.
It's been a good show.
Good show,
I've
yeah.
been rather pleased, and to see how this turned out. Which good news is we now know what more to build on. And look, I'll say this publicly. I'm rather proud of our board on this.
Definitely.
Because when we had to change over because our secretary retired. After doing a lot of great work, don't knock her.
Nope.
By any stretch of the imagination, we were in a bad situation almost 20 years ago when she came. She took over, and because of her, we're still around. Right. Now she, tired, and we kind of had to take the bull by the horns and figure it all out as we went. And man, I'm proud of us for especially Matt, Ryan, and Ian. For all the hard work they put into it.
No, they definitely stepped up, because I remember that board meeting whenever we sat down and we were talking, okay, she's gone now, so we need somebody to be treasurer. Mm-hmm. And, I made sure I was sitting on my hands. I did not want my hand. I was not volunteering for that one, but they willingly stepped up, took the ball, ran with it, and they've done a great job.
Yep.
And of course, it's just it's a new generation that's taken over that. So there's been some things that the older generation has done that the newer generation is wanting to streamline. Mm-hmm. And there's been the little hiccups along with that, but they have done an outstanding, phenomenal job.
Yep.
Yeah.
Considering what we came into on this or whatever, trying to fly blind, I think we now have a much better footprint of what we're going to do. I'm excited for what's going to come because it's only going to improve from here.
Yeah.
And it's been a great show, and we're not even done.
Yeah.
So, no, still got a whole nother day.
We still got a whole nother day.
Yeah,
and
but
so
salute.
it's going to be. I think we're going to finish out really strong. I'm excited about the design contest. There's more entries than we've ever had now that it's digital.
That's awesome.
There's and it's easier to vote on. We can not control the votes, but we can make sure that people aren't getting more than one vote.
Yep.
Like had happened in past times. Mm-hmm. And so it is a much more streamlined thing. This is going to be cool. And we kind of announced, and of course we can announce this now because by the time we get this out,
it's real now. Yeah.
The cool thing about what we're doing with the awards is the Teak Award
Which is the big one.
Which is the big award, which for the grand champion, as we've called it. So for those of you rodeo folks and FFA guys, you understand. We've decided that this award is going to be a belt buckle. So we've ordered custom belt buckles for the award. And so the overall winner will get this custom belt buckle.
That's nice.
But it's not just one. We've ordered 2.
Because there's another part to that equation.
There's another part to this, right? So the grand champion, we're not anything without the people who help us, correct? So the grand champion is not just the designer and the company, but it's the supplier that helps.
Yes.
So the supplier that supplied the stone will get their own belt buckle for that award, which means they will be able to take it with them to other conventions. If they're so bold they want to wear it, then great, by all means, they want to show off. But and hopefully they collect multiples, and then they go to other conventions or this convention. They got them stacked up on some kind of shelf they've made or what. I don't know. But that's kind of the goal. We want it, in all of this stuff, I don't want to just celebrate our retailers. I want to celebrate our suppliers. There should be equal celebration across the board for what it is, because we are not one without the other.
Absolutely.
And so that is the big key. We stand on each other.
And talking about the suppliers, I mean, the amount of companies that have showed up to this one that I've never heard of. And, these are small companies that some of them are just, starting to cut their teeth in the industry.
Well, Pruitt said this morning, EGA showed up this year.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, Elberton's here.
Small companies like Matthews being here,
I'd never heard of him. Matthews never heard of him.
Hey, but I like to give kudos to you guys on the board, because trying to run your business, because running this
we don't have anything else to do.
Well, y'all got more time than I got. But running your business, because being on this board is a business as well. So to take time away from your business to make sure that we have this convention. And man, y'all have done. This has been jam up.
Well, there's some exciting stuff coming up too. I mean, Austin's taken over the bulletin for SMBA, and the bulletin's fixing to be pretty cool. Not just cool, but it's going to continue to stay digital. And not only that, but it's going to be open to whoever wants it. So
yeah, it's not going to be just available to SMBA members. We're going to put it out there, especially through the Facebook groups. Anybody and everybody involved in the monument industry will have access to it. So we're wanting to do that, especially for the vendors. That now, if you choose to spend your dollars with us to advertise with SMBA, you're not just targeting us. It is going to be across the entire industry.
Yep. So all your ads will go out to everybody who opens up the bulletin. It can be shared with other people, because that's how we're going to increase membership, because you're going to have vendors say, hey, go check this out, whatever. Did you see the ad in the bulletin? Here, let me send it to you. Here's the coupon link or whatever that's in there. But then on top of that, it ends up being valuable for them. If they're going to spend money with us, let's make their money valuable. So
that's a great idea.
But it's good, man. There's, like I said, there's a lot of really good things coming up, but we're not done yet. This weekend. So we've got another great education tomorrow. Some great display time tomorrow, and then of course the banquet. So it's going to be good.
Well, from a vendor's perspective, go ahead and introduce yourself.
So my name is Dalen Caldwell, and I am the Texas rep for Matthews Granite.
That small company was talking about.
A very small company based in Elberton, Georgia.
How many conventions have you been to?
So I come from the funeral home cemetery side of things. So I've been going to conventions my whole life. But as far as Granite, I think this is my third or fourth one.
Okay. And that.
No, we're all the same. We're all the same.
Yeah.
How has the convention been for you from a vendor perspective?
This convention has been really great. My last convention was the cemetery convention, so you get to learn.
Is that the one in Galveston recently?
Yeah, that was the one in Galveston. So, once again, those are two different conventions. You're serving two different clienteles. I like this one better. I wish my table wasn't so, close to one another.
Well, we thought y'all wanted to be tight-knit. I thought y'all were like, it's a community, man.
That's totally fine. That's totally fine. But no, this one has been a learning curve, and I've liked building a relationship with, my monument dealers, because, as a vendor, many people choose who do I want to target? Do I just want to target the funeral homes? Do I just want to target the cemeteries? Or do I just want to target the monument dealers? But I've learned coming into this is a three-way pie, and everybody's going to get a piece of it. And I have to make sure that I serve all of my customers the same way. Whether you're a funeral home, a cemetery, or a monument dealer, I have to make sure that you get that service, and I can't pick and choose who I want. Everybody has to get a piece of the pie.
I've got my background in the funeral home business as well because my family owns funeral homes, and I can say this is a little bit more laid-back crowd.
For sure.
I thought we were stuffed shirts, man.
That's so a lot of us are fluent in French.
I thought we were speaking in cursive.
Well, especially the SMBA. we simple folk.
Yeah.
Very much simple. Yeah, absolutely. It's honestly been a pleasure to be here. I got to see a lot of my customers. Texas is so big, I can't see all of them, but I see them at the conventions.
Are you based out of Texas?
I am based in Texas. I'm actually from Corsicana.
Maybe down the road from me.
Yeah, the first city west of the Mississippi that struck oil. So we're pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty good.
Deal.
Corsicana. That's not too terribly far.
No, not too bad. I get to see all my customers.
You're not. That's not. I don't think that's Ellis County. It's
no, I'm Navarro County. Ellis is the next county north of me.
Yeah, it's close enough.
Yeah, he's close enough.
But no, it's let's see what I'd get. It's not OSR doesn't go into Corsicana. I'd have to make a little bit of a jog north on 45.
Yeah,
pretty close.
For sure.
We appreciate you taking.
100%. No, we appreciate you being here because it doesn't just take us as retailers to make these things work. It's equal part y'all showing up.
Yeah.
It's we cannot do what we do without our vendors, and especially whenever it comes to these conventions don't work if y'all don't show up either.
Right.
And especially coming from my perspective and Tony's perspective, we both sit on the board here. We want y'all to communicate with us as much as possible to how to make this more effective for you. We definitely want you to have a good return on this, and because if it gets to a point that you're not seeing a return on this, why should you show up anymore? And that's where we're always scratching our head or beating our head against the wall, constantly just trying to figure out ways to improve this for not only our members that show up, but our vendors, which are members with us as well. Yeah,
and I will say, I've been to enough conventions, whether it was on the funeral cemetery side of it or now on the granite side of it. A lot of vendors, and I'll speak for myself and everybody else, a lot of vendors want to gain something out of it, but you're only going to gain what you put in from it. I can't.
And I would say the same on the retail side.
Yeah,
it's a give and take across the board
for sure. And I can't gripe at the board for them not doing anything if I didn't put myself out there to build the relationships with J&L or the other monument companies, J&D, and build these relationships with them.
I did notice that you didn't point this direction over here.
Whatever. We've been talking for sure. But building those relationships, if you're not putting yourself out there, you can't go home and gripe about not having a relationship. Now, if they choose not to use you, hey, they have that discretion of what they want to do. But you selling your own customer service and building those relationships, down the road, that opportunity will come up.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, I definitely think I met some really good people with Matthews, but man, they got a definite asset with you, man.
I hope so.
You're hitting the ground. I mean, he's beating the streets, man.
Yeah. So, but as we kind of close this out, I do have to bring something up because as we kind of always close these out, we kind of change the subject a little bit.
No, we never.
Maybe
never get off track.
Can we talk about something that's taken place at one point in time not that long ago? We were all kind of disgruntled about where we were in life when it came to sports. And
I know where you're going.
I know you know where I'm going. And that's why I'm dragging this out because it makes it way more entertaining. Over the course of June, there's been a change.
That's all the time we have for y'all today.
It's like the winds have changed. And there's a place that God calls Houston that has...
Oh, he calls Houston something.
that has changed and has moved. So now the Astros are in the lead for AL West. 5 games ahead of Seattle and 7 games ahead of the who?
I don't even know, some team.
Some team out of Dallas or something. It's yeah. I think they've won something once, but not twice. I'm not really sure.
Whack.
So
Whack. We haven't even made the All-Star break.
we haven't made the All-Star break, and you're still 7 games behind.
It can change.
It can.
It
change.
can. It can.
change.
There
There is hope.
You
There
know,
is
no,
always
no.
hope. The
you
good
know-
news is you're not the Colorado Rockies.
Oh, absolutely. There is a rock bottom there. You know, as the little kid said in Angels in the Outfield, it could happen. You know,
They should have realized that rock bottom. They shouldn't have named themselves
the Rockies.
The Rockies.
Oh,
You know,
That's
it's
all
just
kind of jokes on that. Wow.
you know it is bad. But you know it is what it is.
oh, it was a celebration when they won their 10th game of the season.
God, that was rough.
That's rough.
Yeah.
They need to make a movie about them, Major League, instead of the Rockies. Instead of the Angels. Yeah, but that's good, guys.
So
The White Sox fans are happy at least.
well, yeah, because
They're not the worst
they're
now.
not the worst.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
well, all right, guys. Well, we appreciate y'all's time.
Definitely.
This has
Thank
been
y'all
good,
for
and I'm excited
coming
about the convention. And Jonathan, I hope you win a belt buckle.
It's some tough competition this year, man.
Some very tough competition.
Yeah, some nice stuff.
It was,
We didn't bring up rules.
Yeah.
no, I know that for a fact.
If you haven't voted, and vendors get to vote now too, so get on there, scan your QR code.
Oh, see, this would be a perfect. Like this.
it from me, I might want to vote for it.
You know, I see how that goes. I wrote Matthews on every one of mine.
Oh, good.
Whether I got it from you or not.
No, I know what to do now. I'm just going to go through and just like list in the description every vendor that I can. You know.
Nah, man, that's awesome, man.
No, so yeah, it's gonna be good. I'm excited about it. So yeah, if you, of course, you know, we can tell everybody on here to vote, but it doesn't matter because by the time they hear it, the voting's over. So, but no, yeah, it'll be good.
Yep.
So on that note,
On that note,
check out.
time to go get some supper and then something after.
What's that?
Something. Something that we ain't recording.
No, we're not doing that again. Y'all have a good one. We'll catch you on the next one.
Have a good one.